Really and truly, I think the thing that makes it difficult to record a podcast anymore is I don't feel like doing it polished. And so this isn't going to be a polished podcast. It may not always have the same theme music when it opens up. I'm probably not going to come on, hey people, this is Ra Kalan, unless it's just that kind of day, you know? Most of the time, this is my speaking voice. And I'm not saying that I've been fake with you the past year and a half. I haven't. But I was also being what I thought a podcast host had to be. I was being consistent. I was posting fun, colorful graphics. I was telling you to subscribe. I was telling you to follow. I was telling you to share. And if I'm providing you value, I trust that you did follow, that you did subscribe, that you do share. But I'm not pressed. And I think that's the thing that has shifted. I'm not pressed. There was a part of me, a very human part of me when I started this podcast that didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't want to start something and not keep doing it the way a lot of people do their podcasts. I didn't want to be lumped in with the people who thought they were cut out for it and they weren't. But now I might be those people. And it's not that I'm not cut out for the podcast, right? I'm recognizing the energy that I have is far too precious to pour into 15 hours of editing, even something I'm very, very much proud of having created. It is not that I don't think that these episodes are worth the 15 hours. But I also recognize that when I spend 15 hours editing this, that takes up time for me to pour into people. And more importantly, when I say people, I mean myself, so that I can then pour into other people. Because it first and always starts with me. And so I don't apologize for the fact that energy and motion has not been as consistent, because it has created room for me to offer myself in other ways to other people. And I keep saying other people because I'm used to speaking and thinking for other people. It has made space for me. And now I am taking up space for me. And now I'm holding space for others. There's this really dope thing that guided action led me to creating called the More Than Tribe. We had our first meeting this Tuesday. When I tell you, people are so precious. I'm so thankful for each and every person who showed up and what they shared and how vulnerable they were. And honestly, I was most blessed by the eagerness to be in community with other like-minded folks. It's been so long that I've been trying to create spaces like this, and it would take a pandemic for me to actually find my niche. But I found it, and I'm here. And so this past meeting, at the end of it, when it was time to close out, the very last thing I remembered to do was to tell people to share. And honestly, Chelsea, who was listening in, leaned over and was like, tell people to share. And that is a beautiful thing to do as a business person. And I need to get better at that. I agree, because what I offer is so valuable that I do want to remind people to share, invite others. However, I also had to recognize that there is some part of me that gets insecure when I ask people to share. The podcast was different, but this type of gathering, I get insecure because I don't want anyone who spent time with me to think that I expect them to have to owe me anything, like owe me people coming with you to the next gathering in order for me to have been appreciative of you being here right now. But that's not what that's communicating, and I see that now. I see now when I ask people to share the things that I do, I just provided value to them, and I'm asking them to not be greedy and to keep this value to themselves, because I'm trusting there are other people in your life who could also be blessed by what we're talking about. And so with the More Than Tribe has come more virtual self sessions. It's come the opportunity to start doing this dope thing where I create guided meditations that are personalized and customized to individuals that are 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes long. And it can go higher than that, but that's what I've got mapped out so far based off requests. And I'm so thankful for having taken up the space I needed to by having let the podcast be a little inconsistent so that I could start honestly making some money doing things that are fun for me, that don't take me 15 hours to edit. This is just me having a real conversation with y'all, because at no point do I ever want to keep up appearances. I want to be radically honest with you because I'm being radically honest with me. I am doing these things for me, and they better me. They create a space where I feel more empowered, more competent at my skill as a self-love activist. And I'm also aware that people don't know what a self-love activist is. And what I've been telling people is I help people move from spaces of feeling only conditional love for themselves to feeling unconditional love for themselves. And I realize that sounds too impossible, so I break it down smaller and I say I help people move from spaces of hoping they are enough to knowing they are more than. And that is what I do. And if I spend 15 hours editing a podcast, I'd be tired. I'd be far too tired. And I put the podcast out hoping that the people who need to hear it, but sometimes those people need a one-on-one conversation. Sometimes those people need a back and forth, and the podcast might not meet that need. So for those who enjoy podcasts, I just want to give y'all a huge shout out for rocking with me since the beginning. If you've gone back because you're a recent fan of Energy and Motion and you listened to the episodes we did when we were at the KMWI studio and I was really just trying to get myself comfortable and I had just gotten an Energy and Motion banner, like, y'all are the real MVP. And I hope you do keep listening to these inconsistent postings of podcasts. But I also hope that you choose to reach out and join me on these other journeys where we can actually be a soundboard for each other. Where we can go back and forth and have conversations, where we can enlighten each other. I know I'm pouring into you here, but actually, I want you to be pouring back into me. I want you to be telling me in real time what's going on with you. And that's what the More Than Tribe is great for. That's what the Self Sessions are great for. That's what events like Girl Talk for the Melanin Manifestival that I host every month. I think it's the third Wednesday of every month. That's what those events are for. And so the codependent in me wants to make sure that my tribe of Energy and Motion people know I have not abandoned you. I have just expanded, and I am asking you to expand with me. Check out my website, rawkalan.com. Chelsea worked hard on it with me. Really for me. That girl is amazing. She designed that whole thing. And it's updated. And this isn't a shameless plug. This is a proud plug because that website is costing me money. And I'm thankfully starting to actually make money back off of it. Because I'm not afraid to take up space. Because I'm not afraid to reallocate my time. And sometimes we as human beings, we get real embarrassed when our plans change and other people notice. But I hope you do notice that I'm doing things differently now. And that you are invited to all the things I'm doing differently. I'm not leaving you out. The only difference is there's a price tag on some of the things I do now. Not all of them, but I feel very entitled to the price tags I put on stuff. And I'm excited. I'm excited for people to invest in themselves with me. I'm excited to invest in myself for me. I'm excited to spread the wealth of everything that I have been purposed to do. And I'm excited to do it radically. And I'm excited to do it unapologetically. And it's about time. This ain't gonna be the next podcast that I'm crying on now. I'm getting passionate, but I'm not about to cry. I'm not in the mood for it. But feel your feelings, people. Feel what you feel. You deserve to heal. I know we haven't heard that in a long time, but that still stands. That is still our point of view. Feel whatever you need to feel. And always remember you deserve to heal. And when you start having trouble healing on your own, because your own mind will rationalize the self-sabotaging behavior, I want you to reach out to me. Whether you're emailing me at rawkalan@gmail.com, whether you're going to rawkalan.com and actually setting up a session or a consultation, or whether you're reaching out on Instagram, whatever it needs to be, communicate, because we are still a tribe of healing beings, and I am here for you. But because I've put myself first, the here for you that I am doing is at a whole nother level. So when you reach out to me, be ready for your life to change. As usual, as you've noticed, these podcast episodes ain't long. I am not pulling any punches. I only talk as long as I actually feel like I got something to say. And my final takeaways are, check out rockalon.com and all the dope stuff I'm doing, from officiating weddings to helping people celebrate and honor their loved ones who have passed away, to doing radio drops for DJs such as You Are Now Rocking in the Mix. Your girl hosts virtual workshops, virtual one-on-one sessions, virtual couple sessions, customized guided meditations, personalized affirmations, all of the above. I be doing it and more. I've left a couple things off this list just because I have a whole menu that I don't be talking enough about. And so reach out and find out how I can bless you more. I promise you, you reaching out, it always blesses me. So as always, Energy and Motion family, you and I both get to feel whatever we may feel. And we will always and forever deserve to heal. Peace.